Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. So we are, okay, good, everything seems to be running. The chat's not getting the new messages it usually does whenever we start. So I'm trying to figure out what the story is here. So we're using the headset. I charged the little widget, and so hopefully that'll last for the duration and will keep us from getting into my kids' classroom over here. So today's show is brought to you by Da Vinci, who says painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt. Okay. So, speaking of seen rather than felt, why do I only have 6 of 8 transmitting? Facebook doesn't seem to want to be running. There's something wrong with my Facebook to my personal page, which I find interesting. Okay, so today we're going to be working on fixing up the last little bits of the comic strip. I was going to go over there and work, but I can't find spare pieces of paper, so we have to find paper first. So I'm poorly prepared this morning, but that's okay. We'll live. So instead, we'll go straight to the work at hand and get our work done over here. So we have a couple of things I want to fix real quick on this comic strip before I roll it out the door. So we're going to do that real quickly here. For one, notice that her face is not quite straight. That'll drive people crazy. So it's not any better there. I did not make it actually better. There we go. Now, as I was saying yesterday, I'm going to need to be able to bring this into Photoshop for the text work because CSP is just not there. Texts. So we'll be working on that here in a second. There. Excellent. And then he doesn't have a lot of definition around the outside of him. So that's what I'm going to do here. We're just going to real quickly do that. And just give a little bit of definition to him. There we go. Give the bird a little bit of definition too. There, just like that. I've been working all this time. I've been working on my Bellatrix Rising Bible, which is extremely cool. I have written a lot of things in a number of locations, and it's difficult for me to find all of my notes, so I've been trying to consolidate them all into one location, because it's now gotten to the point where I actually was legitimately missing data, and I had no idea where the data was. It still says, hooray, it's waiting for messages. And now actually it looks like it's down 1. So, which is not broadcasting. We're online on everything. except for my Facebook, but I'm saying 6 of 8 on the broadcast. Weird. And you guys may not be out there. We'll have to see. You guys might be out there. I wouldn't know. Because all of my indicators are saying nobody's watching. It's fine. I kind of do this so that we all have time to be together if we want. And that's really what we're after here. But if there's nobody there to be together, that's also okay. There we go. There. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to my I have my shared resources, right? In the shared resources, we have textures, and these textures are sort of what we use to put in the background, and I'll just keep opening ones until, first of all, I like this starburst because the starburst is great for her freaking out. I haven't used them in this computer. But this makes for a really good freak out what background. And since it's black and white, and we can resize it. We can't resize everything when it comes to these, but we certainly can resize this one. Okay. We usually cannot resize stuff, but we can resize this one. So this won't show up much. It's only going to be on the outside edge, but it will show up enough that we'll be able to do there we go. You just delete it. Thank you. Okay. Now what we're going to do is just select that zone on the main here. Go here. And then hit Shift. And go here. And we say Control-Shift-I to invert our selection. And then we hit Delete. And we hit D for deselect. And that puts all that back there just enough to make it obvious that's what's going on. We don't need the starburst for anything else. Do not save. And then we'll go back to here. And we'll say open. We'll go to, let's look around here. What would be good for Mr. Bubbly? Kind of like this one. Right. This one, because it is a zip tone, cannot be resized. So we'll hit Control. And then we'll hit Paste. And we'll do that. That looks very much like, well, you're a weird kid. But, you know, you're doing your best. And then so we'll hit Control-Shift-I to delete. And then that. And then we'll go on to the main. Here, and we'll do this. Right. We'll go down here on Starburst, Sparkly Star Thingy, and hit delete. deselect. Right. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say open. And so what we're going to do here, we're looking for patterns that look good behind Connie and the wife. So we're going to do just a little bit of cross-hatching maybe. Some of these have not been used on this new computer, so it all has to be. And this is another one which can plausibly be resized. Right. We're going to do this. Then I'm going to take here like this and Control Shift I to delete, deselect. We're doing the same thing we did with all the rest of these. We go in here and we just select the background. And if there's extra backgrounds, and there are, we're going to click on those two. Like there and there. Right? Because we want to make sure that those are also in this background. And then we're going to Control Shift I again. And then we're going to go up to the cross-hatching layer and hit delete. Right? You see how that just made that work? Now, I don't like the darkness of this, so I'm just going to take this layer and bring it down to 50%. There. It gives a pattern, but doesn't give, like, too much strength to the whole thing. It's not like it's overwhelming. And so we do not save. And we go here. And we do one more because we've got this panel here. We've got to figure out what to do with that one panel, right? So, open. And we can use rain for that one because I think rain would be funny. It would make this entertaining. So we're kind of got to do this. We got to rotate it. And so we'll transform and rotate it 90 degrees. We don't have the normal rotate, do we? You know what? Rain on the side wouldn't be a problem. Like, as long as I don't show the drops hitting the ground, we should be fine. It would look weird if I did the boodly drops hitting the ground there. I'll paste that in. There we go. Yeah, see, that'll be just fine. And we'll go here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll go like this. And then we'll hit Shift. Like that. Control Shift I. And then hit delete. So, to me, this kind of comes across like a record scratch. You know? We got kind of this record scratch thing going. I'm going to make it a little lighter just so that it looks like the background. And then, you know, okay. You kind of get that going for it there. All right. Now we're going to take and take all of these guys and smash them all together. Bork, 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 until it's one layer. And this is now the uniform background layer. Right? And that should make that a little bit easier. We don't need to keep that. The 007 copy doesn't need to be in here either. So now we're just down to the base units of 009. We'll save it. And we need to go on ahead with this background, add a new raster layer, and we need to actually put in a white background just to ensure that the white areas stay white when I remove the backgrounds. Because what we really want is that, right? Not that. So this is the ultimate end result of this. And that works. All right. Okay. So now that we've done this guy's done. At least done here. We will bring up Photoshop and open it over here. I'm working on the design book for my comic book pages going on here. I'm just doing all the histories, everything I can think of. But we also need to do work, so we're going to do that real quick. We're going to close this guy down. And close this guy down. Do not save. We'll be working on this next. This is our next big battle plan here. But I want to get 9 loaded into here so we can do the text for it. All right. So we want Gaichan regular, which will be our default for this. And then it's all right. The house is ready to be closed. All we need now is the money. Right? And then how do we get that to you? Question mark. Then, anything will. You can wire it to the bank or even send it by carrier pigeon. Right? So we'll move that down. Carry. Wait. Okay, remember, bank 123 All right. There we go. Now, we're going to take the background out like this, right? So it's nothing there but this. Go to main, hit Control-Shift-E, and that merges everything except this. And I'm going to save this as a PNG. And the reason we save it as a PNG is because the PNG's file format retains the transparency in the background. So as long as it's in PNG, I can keep the transparency, and that works. So and then we will be done with this. Since nobody's actually on, really, I don't see anybody on at this moment, and I can't tell if you guys can see me or not. So if you guys can see me, give me a holler. Say something here. So we're going to open October's card, which had these guys here, and we're going to just take this, all copy. We're going to go over to this card and hit paste. We have to do a little bit of resizing to make this work. Right, we just need to put it in the same spot. And then we shrink it down like this. And we shrink it down like that. We bring it over until it's here. And we look at to make sure it's aligned properly. We hit OK. And we can turn that guy off in the back. And then what I'll do here is I will change its color. And we're getting into fall. So I've been using a lot of fall colors, but I kind of want to use sort of a rose because we haven't used rose before. So I'll tap this and go like that, and that changes it to a rose color. We'll go to the background, and I'll try to find something that's relatively close to that, but lighter. Right? Yep, see, that didn't help me any because that's not lighter. It needs to be a lighter color, otherwise this swoosh doesn't show up. So I'm not sure why we're not getting lighter than we need to here. There we go. That's what we're looking for right there. And then we save as, and this one doesn't need to be November. And I changed the date right here to 11. And this one was a week later than usual, so we'll do 11/12 just to make sure that I know what date it was put in. And then I will save it. I will lose my mouse, and then I will save as, and we will save this as a JPEG, and this will be the front. Right. Right. Now that we've done that, we're clear on this project. Nothing on the front really changes on the card. This is a card that he mails out. So the back is the same and never changes. So I'll just send him the back as a duplicate unless he changes something on the back. Unless the client changes something on the back, there's no reason to go on ahead and make that change. So we're going to go on ahead and do this. So this should be clear. This one will be clear. It asks if I want to save it. The really only thing I've done here, looking back at my history, the only thing I've really done is flatten it. And I don't want to save that because I actually like it on its different layers. So I'll say no. And then we can pull this out of here and put it over here. And that project is clear. So we have 3 commissions at this point on the table, but I am not starting any of them today because we are at 10:27, and I'm not 100% sure I'm broadcasting. I can't see anybody out there and things like that. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and cut the show here at this point really short because there's nobody there, and the reason that we're doing short shows this week is so that I can help my kid with his homework. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the show at 10:30 because the project's done. I can send that to the client and roll it out, and it'll be great, and that'll be awesome. So tomorrow, likely, we will have Pepper on the show. Tomorrow is a work day for my kid's school, so he gets to sleep in, which is awesome. He can just sleep to his heart's content. And that means I can have a normal show of 2 hours. So I'll make sure that Pepper is on board for tomorrow's show. And then starting next week, we'll start working through these commissions. So we've got a couple of them definitely on the board to do. So we'll be doing that. So there you go. I will see you all next week. Hopefully we'll be back to 2-hour shows next week. We have to see how well we do over here on remote learning. So until then, keep your eyes on the stars, and I'll see you next week, or I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.